So, Marcia, the LADA and the police were investigating O.J. Simpson. There was a line to the effect of, we went over there to notify him that his ex-wife had been murdered. We didn't expect to watch him become a suspect before our very eyes. There was a trail of blood leading from Nicole's house to his house. I mean, the truth is, O.J. was a terrible criminal. He really did leave, and I obviously I'm showing my bias. I 100% believe that he did this. But he left a trail of blood from the murders back to his own house. And the only way this was discounted at trial was, well, there were a couple of different ways. The defense got up there and tried to suggest the LA cops had planted the whole thing. There was some chemical in the blood that they said showed the LA police had to have manipulated it. And they played the race card. And as I think it was Robert Shapiro would later say, they played it from the bottom of the deck. So before we get to all that, you say, all right, let's get him. We're going to arrest him. We have plenty. And then he flees. He flees. Robert Shapiro says, I'm going to bring him in. Fear not. He doesn't bring him in. He goes with his friend AC, Al Cowling, in a different white Bronco. OJ owned one. So did his friend AC. And before we knew it, 100 million Americans, at a time when, as you point out, like, we didn't have an iPhone that could just pop up and beep and say, oh my God, turn on your TV. Somehow we all just got word. Get in front of your TV. Oh my God. 100 million Americans watched this. This is SOT 4.
No report on anything other than police keeping a clear distance behind. There's no rule book on this because...
Right here, Pat.
This hasn't happened.
Yeah, it seems to be that way, and the traffic up above is still... in fact, I'm trying to look down through my lower window. It appears that CHP has stopped traffic on the on-ramps coming onto the 91 westbound, just to let the officers proceed at a nice pace coming through here. Again, they don't want anything to happen to this suspect vehicle. They want to try to keep it as safe as possible. But there's definitely a crowd growing on every overpass that we see, vehicles and people that want to get a glimpse and see if this is in fact OJ coming down the freeway.
911, what are you reporting?
This is AC. I have OJ in the car.
Okay, where are you?
Please, I'm coming up the 5 freeway.
Okay.
Right now, we are okay, but you gotta tell the police to just back off. He's still alive, but he got a gun to his head.
Is everything else okay?
Everything right now is okay, officer. Everything is okay. All out. He wants me to get it to his mom. He wants me to get it to his house.
Okay.
So that's all we ask. He got a gun to his head.
Okay, and what's your name?
My name is AC. You know who I am, goddammit.
Oh my God. What did we learn from the slow-moving white Bronco chase?
Oh, man. So...
Trigger.
Yeah. No, yeah, a little bit triggering. So the 911 tape from Nicole was more triggering, let me tell you. That's just harrowing. That it's just heartbreaking. But watching that again, I'm struck by a few things. Number one thing, I'm talking to the 2 lead detectives in the case. They have just arrested him, as far as I know. They contacted him as he came home from the airport. And as far as I knew, he was in handcuffs and he was at the station and they were interviewing him. And then they came in to talk to me and I was going to ask, and I wanted to find out, what did he say? You know, and how did he react? And they told me basically it was a non-confession. It was kind of a sliding all over the place, which, you know, happens. It's actually pretty rare that a defendant says, you got me, I did it. So, okay. I said, okay, so where'd you book him? And he goes, well, we didn't. What do you mean you didn't? Well, they booked him, but they released him. You released him. Why would you do that? Even by then had a mountain of evidence. I mean, it was insane, the amount of evidence, as you put it. So rightly, Megyn, he was a terrible criminal. He did not do a very good job of this. He left evidence everywhere, leading right up to his bedroom. I mean, inside his bedroom. It was ridiculous. How could you possibly let him go? And they said, oh, where can he go? He's O.J. Simpson. Everybody's going to recognize him. And I was flabbergasted. And of course, then that allowed the Bronco slow chase to happen. which I think was a galvanizing moment for a lot of people. It became kind of this rolling a snowball effect of people watching and jumping on and then going out to cheer and go, it just kind of this mania took hold, and it became a cause to stand up for don't squeeze the juice kind of thing, which I don't know would have happened had he gone into custody as you would have with any other person, any other defendant, you name them. They would have been in custody after all the evidence that we had, because of course he'd be a flight risk. And he knows how much evidence there was. There's all kinds of news reports. People are talking about it endlessly. It was hard to miss. So that they let him go at that point for reasons I still don't understand, but, and then let him stay out for as long as they did. Again, I think a lot of that had to do with a previous case. And I don't want to get too deep in the weeds with this, but it had to do with the Michael Jackson case and the beef that the police department had with our office for not filing charges and for endlessly investigating him up in Santa Barbara and convening the grand jury for as long as we did, and then never bringing charges. And I think they were afraid that might happen here. Although the difference between the two cases was so stark, it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, it caused this kind of feeling of mistrust. And so they didn't trust us to file as soon as we could. Again, I don't know why, but anyway, that's
in the OJ case.
The reasoning. And
you
so
literally had
he
him
was allowed to go
red-handed.
out, and I think it was a turning point.
In the OJ case, you literally had him red-handed. You caught him red-handed.
Yeah.
He was bleeding from his knuckle with a bandage wrapped around his left hand, one of the fingers of his left hand. I mean, you literally caught him red-handed. There was one bloody glove at her house, Bundy, and one bloody glove at his house, Rockingham. There was blood all over his white Ford Bronco, which had been parked back at his house, Rockingham. You could see it smeared inside and outside. The limo driver who'd been waiting to take him to the airport that night didn't see him. He rang the doorbell. Nobody was there. Then suddenly saw a figure that looked just like O.J. Simpson running in the back of the house. His tenant, Cato Kalin, heard 3 thumps, very loud thumps, which is clearly O.J. re-entering the property right after the time of the murders. The blood evidence in his bedroom of hers and his. I mean, it's like you couldn't have asked for, a stupider criminal. But again, they played the race card. And I feel like now, in 2022 America, don't we have a better appreciation for how that can work, how powerful it can be, and how people can use it to completely ignore seemingly unignorable facts?
Oh, absolutely. I think everybody's a lot smarter, but I will say this. Back then, I was trying cases downtown for about 10 years. And in the downtown court, as opposed to the branch courts that were in like the suburbs, we were used to seeing the race card being played. That was a very common tactic. And it worked. It worked more often than you want to know. So it was not unfamiliar to me, but this was a level beyond because he was so famous, because he had the imprimatur of this wonderful icon, this amazing guy. We were fighting against that as well. And then there was also, I think, a sense of, we're not going to let you take him down because he is a symbol of success. He is a symbol of overcoming all the obstacles that minorities do and have to succeed. So there was a huge, this impenetrable wall of, we don't want to. We just don't want to.
Yeah, we
and
just
I think
don't want to.
It also had to do with the rulings in court. Look, I think with another judge, with a different set of circumstances where you really enforce the law as it was written, you wind up with a hung jury, probably. But I don't think anybody in the DA's office, even most of us knew at best we'd get a hung jury. That was the most that could be hoped for. And probably if we retried it, hung again and then dismissed. So, I mean, I think that was kind of in the cards from early on and became more and more apparent as time went by.
Samantha from Arcadia, California is raving about Genucel's transformative results. She says, I love Genucel plant stem cell therapy. I've used it all over my face, under my eyes, and it cleared up the dry flakiness and even reduced my forehead lines. Someone even asked if I had work done. Nope, just Genucel. Genucel has sold over 1 million products to women and men across this country. Fine lines, forehead wrinkles, dark spots, sagging jawlines, and even those annoying bags and puffiness gone without risky procedures. Think of it. And with its immediate effects product, there are guaranteed results in as little as 12 hours or your money back. Now, during Genucel's summer blowout, every most popular package, which is all their best products, is over 65% off. Plus, you will get a complimentary gift set with your order. Go to genucel.com/MK60. genucel.com/MK60. Order today and get their summer essential, the dark spot corrector, absolutely free. genucel.com/MK60. That's GENUCEL.com/MK60. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.